Right, guys, I was asked about deaths in the UK following being given the vaccine, specifically in the UK. I was aware of this outbreak here, 22 deaths in a Basingstoke care home, Pemberley House care home. This story came out on the 27th of January, so it's a week old now. Let's just have a look through. 22 people have died at a Basingstoke care home in one of the worst known outbreaks of the coronavirus pandemic to date. Right, the outbreak was first declared on Tuesday, January the 5th, with 60% of its residents testing positive for the disease. Remember that date, guys, January the 5th, that's important. Within 3 weeks, 22 people had died, over 1/3 of the home's residents. And they're saying it is all due, well, they're suggesting there in that first paragraph, it's all due to the coronavirus. Okay? Waffles on a bit there about how Avery Healthcare, they own the home. They're deeply saddened. It's understood the outbreak started as residents began to have their first coronavirus vaccines. Okay, so you remember 5th of January. I had a look at Avery Healthcare and come on. Okay. So on the 7th of January, 2 days later, they put out a release saying that they were excited about the COVID-19 vaccine being rolled out in Avery care homes across the country. So it doesn't say, excuse me, exactly the date of that, but that was 2 days after that. This is relevant, guys, okay? Because what they're saying here is that the outbreak was declared 2 days before that release where they were so excited about the vaccine. Okay? This is important for these reasons. When you look at the information for healthcare providers on all three of the available vaccines in the UK, so this one is for the Pfizer one, go down to clinical particulars. Okay. Special warnings, precautions for use. Okay, you can see there. The administration of COVID vaccine should be postponed in individuals suffering from acute, severe febrile illness. Febrile illness means high temperature. That means you've got a fever. One of the classic symptoms we're told of COVID-19 is a fever. You feel hot to touch. You've got a high temperature. Remember, this outbreak was 2 days before that press release. Why were they giving these vaccines out? And it's the same on, this is the Moderna one. I'll go up and show you. Look, Moderna, down to clinical particulars, and it says, oh, where is it? It says it the same here somewhere. Sorry, I should be better prepared. There we go. Acute illness. Immunisation should be postponed in individuals with severe febrile illness or severe acute infection. So both the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines shouldn't be given to people who are febrile or have a temperature with a severe illness. Bearing in mind this illness has killed these people, I would call that a severe illness. So why were they given the vaccine? Okay? If it wasn't a severe illness, how did it kill them? Because they will go down as COVID deaths, guys. Okay? And this is pissing me off. The AstraZeneca one, that is slightly different. This is the AstraZeneca vaccine. We move down. Special warnings, concurrent illness. As with other vaccines, the administration of COVID vaccine AstraZeneca should be postponed in individuals suffering from acute severe febrile illness. However, the presence of a minor infection such as a cold and or low-grade fever should not delay vaccination. Fine, but then if it was a cold or a low-grade fever, should it have killed them? Why were they dying? They're just putting it down to COVID. I really hope there's going to be some sort of thorough investigation into this, because this is really pissing me off. Let's just go back to this story. Okay. This was the original story. It says there, it is understood the outbreak started as residents began to have their first coronavirus vaccines. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulation Agency, MHRA, said there was no suggestion the vaccine was responsible for the deaths. Okay. Government advice states that one cannot catch COVID-19 from the vaccine, but it is possible to have caught COVID-19 and not realise you have the symptoms until after your vaccination appointment. Well, they've just told us that the outbreak started on the 5th, and on the 7th they were very excited about the rollout of the vaccine. Sorry, I wasn't going to say the V word, but I've said it several times now. Bollocks to it. Okay, there was another story a day later. Let me try and find it. There it is. This is from a day later, where they go to extra lengths to tell us that these care home deaths were not related to the jab. And there's the first line. The jab is not related. Sorry. Stupid iPad. The jab is not related to a recent outbreak of coronavirus. A government agency has said. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency said their surveillance does not suggest that the COVID-19 vaccines have contributed to their deaths. I want to know how they know that. I want to know what their surveillance methods are, and I want to know how they've come to those conclusions so very quickly. And because I'm in lockdown and got absolutely fuck all else to do, I have done a freedom of information request to the MHRA to ask those very questions. So who are the MHRA? Okay. They're the people that regulate medicines, they approve medicines, and are there to oversee generally the safety and efficiency of all medicines. And when you want to know really about a company or any kind of institution, look at how they're funded. There's a question there. How is the MHRA funded? And according to Wikipedia, the MHRA is funded by the Department of Health and Social Care for the regulation of medical devices. So that might be things like syringe drivers and pumps, that might deliver intravenous drips and things like that. Whilst the costs of medicines regulation is met through fees from the pharmaceutical industry. So they are funded from the people that they are regulating. In fact, if you click through this link onto Wikipedia, you can do this yourself and go down to funding. There we are. There's the bit. And you can see the bit there. This has led to suggestions by some MPs that the MHRA is too reliant on industry and so not fully independent. No shit, Sherlock. This is pissing me off, guys. Check my other video out about the vaccine adverse event reports. I know it's a long video, it's about half an hour long, but you've really got to question why they are giving this jab to so many old and very, very sick people. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and share the video. Subscribe if you feel like it. Cheers. Thanks for watching.